Howdy, it's Uncle Paul, and I'm about to cook another recipe that I've been waiting to do for a long time. Well, it is Thursday morning, and it feels great out here. It's like in the lower 50s, 51, something like that. So it's just perfect. Well, this has been a good week. It's been, I guess, 8 days since I started weighing every morning and sending it to a picture of it to my nephew. So it's really been helpful, and I've enjoyed it. You know, it really has kind of motivated me. So, and this week, one of the things I'm doing, of course, I'm continuing to do my intermittent fasting, and which means I don't eat anything after 7 p.m. and then I don't eat until around, well, after 11 a.m. That's usually when I start cooking something, if I'm going to do that. And so I eat around noon, and then I've only been eating really twice a day, 2 meals, and then sometimes I'll have a snack if I really feel the need. You know, a snack will be a can of sardines with some mustard, or a little can of Vienna sausage with some mustard, something like that. But usually I cook one meal, try to make it a good tasty meal. You know, when you're not eating that much, then it's nice to have something that's really good to eat. Pardon me, let me get some stairs in real quick. Okay, all right, well, I usually cook a nice little meal, and if there's enough left over and it's not, you know, higher in carbs than normal, all of my stuff's low carb, I may eat it for supper, the second half of it, or save it for the next day. But the last 3 nights, I have made an Atkins shake. You know, I use my bullet, my Ninja Bullet, I guess it's called, and I'll put it halfway full of ice, maybe put a little bit, a couple tablespoons or more of heavy whipping cream, and then fill it up with one of my Atkins shakes, drinks, and squirt a couple of squirts of stevia, liquid stevia in there, and it makes a huge glass, very satisfying, a little bit sweet. And so I've really been enjoying those the last few days. So that's what I've been doing lately, is just really a couple meals and a snack. And every single day I've lost a little bit of weight, except one day I had gained some back, which is going to happen when you weigh every day. You have to understand that. But the very next day I lost it, and lost a little bit more than that the very next day. So it's still pretty slow, but it's going real well. So, whew. So for a long time I've been wanting to make a low-carb mac and cheese, which of course the macaroni is replaced with cauliflower. I would call it a cauliflower casserole, but that doesn't sound nearly as exciting. And of course I've got 4 cups of cauliflower, just broken up, you know, in kind of small pieces. Don't want real big chunks. I put like half a teaspoon of sea salt on it, and then microwaved it for 4 or 5 minutes to get it softened up. It's going to cook a little bit in the oven. Then there's ham that I want to add to it. There is half a cup of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream. By the way, that's 1 cup of ham. 4 ounces of cream cheese, and there's some butter I'll add. And then finally, there's some pork rinds. That's half a cup of pork rinds that I minced up or chopped up, ground up in my bullet here. So I've got some spices I'll add, so let's get to it. Okay, I nearly forgot. I had it sitting up here, but that's my Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. That's 2 cups. So the first thing I want to do is I want to kind of brown up my ham just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add a pat of butter into my skillet. Let that melt, let the pan heat up. So I have it on a medium-high heat. And I went ahead and sprinkled in some minced onion. And because you could put, you know, I would put maybe with this recipe a 1/4 cup of onion. But you know, chop it up and saute it here. That just adds more carbs. Those are kind of high in carbs. I just backed off of those for now. But I also put in some black pepper and some granulated garlic. Just going to get this browned up a bit. Now the ham, of course, was already cooked, but I was just wanting to add flavor. That adds some flavor to it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this cauliflower. It's softened up. It's still al dente, if you will. But I'm going to go ahead and, oops, let me throw in some butter. Meant to get some butter melted there. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to soften up the cauliflower just a little bit more and get some flavor on it as well. I'm going to add some of these same spices. Okay, get it out of this pan. I'm going to throw in a couple of pats of butter. Let that melt down. Going to add the whipping cream. Okay, now I'm going to add my cream cheese in by little chunks. Let it melt in smoothly. Okay, now I'm going to add some of my spices. This is nutmeg, just half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and some paprika, just half a teaspoon of that as well. Some red chili flakes, those just make just about everything better, and my black pepper. And then finally, garlic powder. Same thing, half a teaspoon. Okay, now I'm going to add the cheese. This is probably about 1.5 cups. I'm going to reserve some to put on top. Okay, well you can see here, I do not have a smooth sauce. I was afraid this might happen. And here's what I think why it happened is because the heavy whipping cream, I put some in the freezer. Now it freezes just fine, and you can use it to cook with. Depends on what you're cooking. The other day I tried to whip it up like a Cool Whip, and it would not whip up after I'd thawed it out. It was too thick. Well, in this case, it's separating, and the juice is coming out of it, the water, and it is not smooth. So we're just going to go ahead and make the best of this recipe. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the cauliflower in this skillet and try to mix it as best I can. And so I'm going to pour it back, the mixture, into this Pyrex baking dish. And that is my oven. It's preheated now to 400 degrees. All right. Okay, so now I am going to add the pork rind topping. Well, it was at this point that I realized I had not put the ham in with the cauliflower and got it all mixed up. So I went ahead and just put the ham in it and mixed it up with the pork rind topping. That really wasn't ideal, but I didn't have much other choice. Then I went ahead and put cheese on top of it and put it in the oven. So it really, instead of being a keto mac and cheese, low carb mac and cheese, it really, as I said, it really was even more like a cauliflower casserole. And I put it in the oven, a 400 degree oven, for 20 minutes. Okay, let's check this out. All right, well, that still looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so time for a taste test. It's not creamy and all that, but I'm hoping it still at least has some good flavor. Let's see. Yeah, it's stringy a little bit. That still has a good flavor, you know. So I'm not going to complain about it, but I am going to have to try this again and do a little bit better next time. My COVID-19 mask has arrived. I ordered it a few weeks ago. I saw it advertised, an interview of the people who make it on one of the news channels. And if you order one, if you buy one for $13 and something, they will give one for free to the healthcare industry. I'm not sure how that works, but they've got all kinds to choose from, all kinds of designs, and of course, I chose the Texas flag. So it's got, it's by the way, it is maskclub.com is where you can go. And it's got a pocket so that you can add some kind of filter. And I understand there are a lot of people that are using coffee filters, so I may start off with that until I can find something better. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Oh, well, I am very pleased with my cooking and what I ate this week. Very satisfied. It was very satisfying. Even the cauliflower casserole that didn't turn out quite like it was supposed to. However, it was very good. I think another issue with it and why the cheese sauce didn't turn out right was not just only because I had frozen the heavy whipping cream, but because when I started to make it, the skillet was too hot. I turned it down to medium, a little below medium heat, but I didn't wait for the pan to cool down, so that didn't help either. You're supposed to have it a little bit cooler temperature than that. Anyway, it turned out great. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share these videos, and remember, always look up.